What's going on? It's another episode of Culture Approved. Right behind us, we got the logo behind us. It's the big homie Just Joe, Chris, Viagra 10 bitches. Just so y'all know, y'all don't need a backstory on that. We talking about the NBA. We starting the brand new season in what, 8 days? 8 days, the brand new season starting. What's the first game?
Boston,
of the brand new
Philly.
season?
Boston,
It's gonna be a
Philly.
good game.
What's that? Wasn't that the Eastern Conference Final last year?
No.
No?
It's not.
Who was the Eastern Conference Final last year? Oh, yeah. Brown was still over there.
Yeah.
Fucking shit up.
Yeah.
Boston Philly is going to be a great fucking game.
But
What
we
y'all
can't say early Eastern Conference prediction is what you're saying?
Boston Philly? Yeah. I don't see nobody else in the East fucking with them. Period.
Maybe Toronto a little bit.
Knock it off.
So.
Kawhi
Like
don't want to be. I will say that for the simple fact that this is a contract year for Kawhi, so he's gonna play. But
I mean, that team's going to be a
take
completely
that shit
different
with a grain of
dynamic with Kawhi's style of play compared to what DeMar had over there.
Fact.
And
That's
that's why I
true,
think it
but-
could be different for them.
Bench depth wise alone for Boston. Let's say Boston. Bench depth wise, Toronto don't got it.
No,
Philly don't got it.
Philly don't got it.
Don't nobody.
I mean, Markelle would be a huge 6-man.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
know, and then they have.
Who would you have running the one? Ben?
Oh, it's Ben. It's
Yeah,
Ben all
Ben
last
all
year. It's
the way.
still going to be Ben.
For sure.
I think for Philly, though, is if they would have added a big piece this offseason, then I could say they could be up there with those.
Ironically, they're pushing for a Jimmy Butler, Kawhi.
So is
type
Toronto.
of- Yeah, everybody's kind of.
Everybody looking to snag Jimmy. The question going into next year's free agency is definitely where Jimmy, Kawhi, and Kyrie gonna end up.
He's that new LeBron domino, and don't forget, I believe Kevin Durant can opt out and be a free agent.
Yeah, he did sign the
going
one
back to
year.
Golden State.
No, he's not.
I doubt it.
Steph Curry can opt out and become a free agent.
I see all these niggas going to New York. Kyrie, KD, and Jimmy.
No, I think
going to the
KD
Knicks.
go back to OKC. Honestly,
Interesting.
with the team that they have
Even after
now,
just signing Paul George to an extension?
you just move Paul George to the two.
Oh God.
That's what he was playing for the first couple of years when he had Danny Granger in Indiana.
Oh
Move him
God.
to the two. Now y'all long as hell. Now it's a lot of defense.
Fuck.
Yeah. It's
Who
would
played
be
a
very
four in
interesting.
OKC?
people-
Anybody.
Yeah, it don't matter.
Anybody.
You ain't touching the ball.
God.
You ain't touching the ball.
Oh, God.
So, you know what I'm saying? But it's just like, speaking of OKC, they do play Golden State right after that Philly-Boston game. So that's going to also, these two huge season openers for the NBA, really trying to make their money, really prime time, giving us their best foot forward as far as opening the season off right. What do you see that game ending up?
At least 120 to like 120.
That's definitely gonna be an overtime game. Though.
I can see that, yeah.
The OKC Golden State, that shit going to overtime.
I
think
can
both
see
games
that.
gonna go to overtime.
There's gonna be no defense in that game though. Think about it.
But that's
gonna be
that's
pure
so
offense.
crazy because that's no defense to two teams that know how to play defense.
Fact.
The only thing I'm going to be looking for in that game is watching DeMarcus on the bench just have a huge smile on his face while he watches his team
Ooh,
win.
Jesus, I forgot about DeMarcus on this team.
Yeah.
He just signed a lucrative deal with Puma random. Yeah, so
Crazy.
I think
Is he smart for doing that? 1 year, $5 million,
Yeah.
taking it right now and then
get
going
my
into
ring.
contract?
That's what he thinking. Get my ring.
Give me a
Play
nice check,
solid.
get in the ring, and then ask for the max when I come back.
Yeah,
Because he can argue for
That's
it because
another-
He's not gonna get it
DeMarcus-
in OKC. I mean, in Golden State, but he's gonna get the max somewhere depending on how good he played. But from what I've seen when he has played, he still looks a little hindered on that Achilles tail. He still looks a little hindered, but that comes.
But I mean,
you know,
it ain't like he gonna have to do much. I mean, it's gonna be him, Jordan Bell, Draymond, like just swallow up these rebounds, G, like and keep it moving.
bro, he'll score.
I know, but
That's
shit.
what he gonna do.
I know, but
He gonna spread the floor, score. Hit a three. This is gonna be the season where he show off if he could really shoot the three, because he's gonna be open a lot.
He gonna have to.
This is the season where they just gonna show is that Achilles, early on in the
He doesn't
season.
come back until around January.
I thought he came back after All-Star weekend. That's what I heard. That he come back after All-Star
So that would be in
weekend.
February.
Yeah, like late February, first week
Either
of
way,
March.
he doesn't have a lot of time to showcase what he can and can't
Yeah.
do. Like, cause then, he's gonna have the playoffs, but running that injury off minimum real game time, going into the grind that is the NBA playoffs,
straight up.
first round, second round, third round.
But once again, I think
Finals.
slotting him into GSW, he don't have much to do. Like I
There's
don't
not a lot
see.
of pressure.
Yeah, it's
not a lot of
no
pressure
pressure. If you
Have
ask me.
fun is what they
Yeah,
tell me.
exactly. Like go out there. If you're not feeling good, we'll sit you down.
All this talk about Steph, KD, do you guys think that Golden State can even keep Clay?
Nah,
I
I
think
ahead.
that's the one guy that out of like everybody on that team, he's kind of the one that's going to be singled out when everybody's doing new contracts because Clay's a free agent this summer too.
Yep.
Yeah.
And do you think? But that's the thing. Do you think that we're gonna stick with our original big three, our homegrown big three, and just let KD walk to give Steph and Clay the possible best backcourt in the league?
Honestly, if they were smart, that's what I would do. Off the strength that KD is gonna start being a trend with KD only signing 1 year to him. Kind of, I feel this is like a stall out for KD.
And they're upset with him
I
too.
do a 1 year with the player option, and then that way next year I decide whether or not I want to come back. I just move him out the equation because y'all were champions prior to getting him.
KD is at the point now, he's won his rings, and he kind of wants he wants to be the man on a team. He wants to be the one superstar. You don't think that though?
No, but I think it. But my face was more so. I
You
don't
weren't
know.
that guy.
Yeah, I don't know.
I wouldn't say
I don't
he was
know
that
where
guy
he
at
can
OKC.
go to do
No.
that. I don't think he was the guy at OKC
No, that was
by
all
far.
Russ.
I don't know where he can go, where he can still compete for rings, where he's gonna be the guy.
It has to be like an AFC team in the East.
But to get
One
rings
team-
is what I said.
What are some other teams potentially that we could see around the league next summer that can make plays at either just one superstar, free agent, or two?
It's always a pipe dream, but I love throwing the Bulls in the mix. I feel like we have a legitimate shot every fucking
We
year.
had the cap space this summer. We could
Yeah.
have done something.
I like what we did this
Yeah,
year.
yeah,
We
for
got
sure.
a lot of people upset about certain contracts to ACL tearing players, but they added a lot of stipulations in their contracts that protect them from
that protect the organization.
if they tear the ACL and have a major injury, they get a lot of money back.
Mm-hmm.
So that cap space that we're going to have next year is still going to be even bigger. And this, speaking of the Bulls, all the storylines in the NBA as well. From what I've been hearing, this is kind of that make or break year for Fred Hoiberg as well.
It has to be.
They're going to use this to assess if he can still be the head coach.
And his makeup
Now
year
and
for
for
me
the
was
future.
year one.
No,
I'm not a fan.
I can't agree with that.
I'm not a fan.
I give coaches a chance.
Yeah, I give them a chance because I think when Fred came in, that was
still Tibbs' team. Yeah.
it was really still
and-
Tibbs' team, and then he had to go through the Rondo, Wade, and Butler era of them guys. So it was too many egos clashing in and there. Now
three
I think,
alphas. Yeah, that's what they call them.
it was definitely the three alphas for sure. And now with this team, and you kind of saw it with last year's team, this is definitely a squad that Hoiberg can mold to be his idea of what the Bulls should be.
While I agree, I still don't think he has the roster that he wants.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I still think all these years, as good or bad as the Bulls have been, in my opinion, they have yet to give Hoiberg the roster that he's wanting.
For sure.
Like, he had, for his system to work, he has his kind of versatile big man and marketing who can shoot the three, who can rebound, kind of athletic, handle the ball a little bit. He is trying to mold Chris into this floor general type point guard, which is what he needed. We don't know what Zach LaVine can do. After all these preseason games, Jabari's looking he gives you spurts of looking good, but he hasn't been where
number two draft pick.
where he should be, as well as seeing if the rookies pan out. What happens if the next 2 years, Chad Hutch explodes into something big?
Facts.
What if Denzel has a breakout year? Because it's a make or break year for him as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Because after his summer, he got dogged by somebody who's not even in the league, in Drew League, and I forgot, Frank Nitti, I believe is his name. He got dog walked by him in Drew League, and this summer hasn't been a good summer for him as far as preseason as well. So it's just like, where do they go with roster moves, coaching staff moves, and then if they say, okay, Orvar, Fred Hoiberg, who's the next big coach for the Chicago Bulls? Who's there's so many storylines. What does Boston do with the conundrum that is the depth that they have? Because they have people who come off the bench that can start. They have starters who don't get a lot of minutes who can go start and get big minutes elsewhere.
The major storyline for me that a lot of people are forgetting about this year with Boston, around, if you're a huge NBA fan, is the fact that Gordon Hayward is coming back off of an injury, and he is fully healthy, and that's a ton of ammo now coming for this team all of a sudden.
Yeah, for sure.
That's another thing that's going to be a massive storyline for me with Boston. Let's do predictions.
Okay.
Let's do your 8 teams that are going to be making the playoffs.
Before we go into the predictions, I actually got a question about the preseason, how short the preseason is, because we're starting to run into those injuries the same way how it kind of was with the lockouts, which, you know, I'm sure all of us can kind of come to an agreement. If it wasn't for the lockouts, Derrick Rose probably wouldn't have gotten injured.
Yeah.
You know, so we see guys like Devontae Murray, he just tore his ACL. We got Markkanen out. We got Lonzo, which he was out prior, but
Zach, I believe.
Yeah.
A thigh contusion.
Right, a thigh contusion. You have several guys coming into the preseason, heading into the regular season, who's getting injured. So what I'm saying is, do we feel as if the preseason either needs to stay long so these guys can have that time to kind of get acclimated into the flow? Because we've never seen preseasons where starters and your star players play from the first game of the preseason.
This is a great question, because I think this just does not go for the NBA. This goes for all sports. We see this in, Major League Baseball during spring training. We see it in the NFL preseason. We see it. I mean, I'm a big hockey fan, but it also happens in hockey, where during a preseason game, some of the biggest name players in the league either get a season-ending injury, or they get an injury where they're out for a significant amount of time. The thing for me is that I've kind of noticed over the last 2 years with all these big sports is you have your training camp, and then it just seems like the preseason games are happening so damn fast. My thing is that I think training camps need to be longer. Now, like for spring training, for instance, you only have a week and a half of your workouts with the team for your first spring training game. And I understand spring training games, there's a huge squad involved. Some of them are split squad. In football, for instance, the Bears this year, they played in the Hall of Fame game. That was a week after really training camp really started for the Bears.
Sure.
So in my opinion, I think training camp needs to take place longer, like a whole nother week or 2 weeks for that matter prior.
Would you suggest that the leagues just got rid of the preseason altogether and just allowed that to be the training camp where the coaches kind of do their assessments?
I wouldn't say get rid of the preseason altogether. I think there still should be preseason type games, but I think they should be shorter.
Right.
I don't think there should be, like, for instance, the Bears played 5 preseason games this year.
For sure.
I think that's just too. I think that's too many games for football players. I think if you're going to have a longer training camp, you should only have. They're still going to need some sort of game to kind of get in that game mode. I think there should be 1 or 2 preseason games in the NFL. I think that there should be just 1 full week of, like in the NBA and the NHL, for instance, because their schedules are kind of similar. The way the season goes, 82 games. I think they should have 1 week prior to the season where you play, 3 games during the week, where it's going to be like a simulation of what the schedule is going to be during the regular season. I don't think you should have 4 or 5 days off between games. I just think that's wrong. But I think it should be shorter.
I actually don't think that. I think that you pay coaches and staff for a reason. They have to learn how to manage their players better. If these players are getting hurt, know your personnel.
For sure.
You know who you're gonna have really be grinding and depending on in the season. Let them take a lot of these rests. You know what I'm saying? They get a few burner minutes, 2 minutes a quarter or something like that in the regular season, in the preseason. I mean, and then you let that bench ride it out because those are the guys who not gonna really see that much tick, as well as the people who probably not gonna make the roster. So what if you win and lose? It's preseason,
right? Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And then to kind of feed off of that, with how I felt watching the preseason thus far this year, I watched preseason games like it was an actual game, and I had to get out of my head like, oh, this shit just preseason. But you got guys really going at it in fucking preseason.
Yeah.
Which, you know, if you think even back maybe 5 years ago, you don't see LeBron playing game 1 of preseason.
No,
you
false.
don't
Yes,
see,
you do.
No, but not all 4 quarters.
No, but see,
I don't think they should be playing all 4.
He definitely did. He definitely shouldn't. But he checked himself back in. Brian is that exception. He checked himself back into the game because he wanted to get a crowd to show.
Right.
Yeah, LeBron looked at Luke Walton and was like, "I want to go back in," and Luke was like, "I don't think you should." He was like, "I'm going back in," and then he walked to the. He was like, "Exactly." Luke sat down. So it was just like
that's like the only player in the NBA that has that.
Yeah.
Maybe Steph has a little bit of leeway with Steve, but I don't.
Not as much. Like
Bron runs his own team. You saw that last year's trade deadline for the Cleveland Cavaliers was purely all LeBron's doing. Let's be real. Let me get your MVP and your Rookie of the Year, and who wins it all.
Yikes! Fuck. Shit.
Honestly, and I'm only saying this.
I'm biased as fuck, so I'm gonna go ahead. I'm biased as fuck, so I'm letting y'all know ahead of time.
I'm only saying this off the fact that he's not gonna see too much competition, and his team is phenomenal. Kyrie wins MVP.
That's what I'm talking about. Yes.
Kyrie wins MVP for Rookie of the Year. I honestly have Marvin Bagley.
Okay.
Rookie of the Year. I got Marvin Rookie of the Year.
Okay. Who wins it all?
Yeah, you forgot that one.
Well, who wins
the
championship?
Yes.
I see the finals being.
No. Who wins the ring? Don't tell me who's gonna be in the finals.
Boston.
See, let's go. Yes.
I got Boston.
Kyrie MVP. Boston win the ring.
But Boston going home with it this year.
Ooh, and this Rookie of the Year is tough though. Cause barring injuries, barring anything, going off production from preseason as well as summer league. I'm gonna say Trae Young.
You think so?
It's possible. He gonna be the primary scorer for sure on that team.
True.
2K got all these rookies averaging thing like 20 points a game.
God.
Yeah.
God.
2K don't usually be wrong.
Yeah, 2K don't really be that far off.
They don't be that far-fetched with their predictions. So. Oh wait, can I give you a sleeper for Rookie of the Year? Somebody who's gonna have a Donovan Mitchell-esque impact. Okay. I'm gonna say that. Let me think. Top 10. I'm gonna say Mo Bamba. He has a Donovan Mitchell-esque impact.
You think Orlando gonna sit Vucevic?
It don't matter.
No.
It don't matter. Whether they sit him or not.
You like the Bamba Gordon pairing?
Hell yeah.
I think that's better off for that team than.
It's too much. Yeah. If they start Vucevic, it's too clogged up. Yeah. Even with Aaron being able to hit the three, it's still too clogged
I think Mo translates to the way Aaron plays his game because Mo is very good in transition for a big man that's 7'2".
Yeah,
he's huge, and that's another reason why the Bulls really kind of were hoping he would fall down to that. a little bit, and because I know that's the guy they really wanted.
I would have
that's
lost
the guy I
it.
wanted. I really wanted.
Yes, I would have lost it. Like Wendell Carter's looking great, but I would have lost it.
Wendell Carter's good for when you have the 7th pick for the Bulls. I think it was a good position to draft. It was a safe pick for them, but it's not the guy I wanted.
It wasn't high risk, high reward at all.
I have Boston winning it this year. I think Kyrie is also going to win the MVP. And, for me, it's kind of a toss between Mo Bamba and Trae Young, but I'm going to go Trae. I really think he's going to win Rookie of the Year. I think everything's lined out for him to actually win it.
I think too much of the spotlight is on people like Bagley, and I think the spotlight was on Trae is not as high as
it's not as high. And after Oklahoma kind of took that step back, it wasn't as high. But then all of a sudden, like, remember, people were saying Trae's not going to even
he's not going to
top
be
10 or anything. And then all of a sudden, he was being talked top 3 at that point, right, like a day before the draft, and then it happened. I think he's in a good spot where he's going to show people.
And Atlanta's not a spot where he has to just
There's not a lot of pressure.
It's not pressure.
There's not a lot of pressure for him.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like Sacramento is just like they've had so many dang on first round top 5 picks that have not
have they
panned
had
out.
A prospect though with the caliber of what Marvin can do? They haven't been like they've had top 5, top 10 picks over the years, but name me someone over the last 6 years that they have drafted in the top 5 or top 10 that has the potential than Marvin Bagley.
That had that potential.
No, that has.
When was the last time they was in the top 5 outside of De'Aaron?
Tyreek.
No, he
said in the last 6 years though.
It's been that long.
But they've had top 10 picks. I'm saying top 5 or top 10.
Okay, so you open it up.
I mean, they had Willie Cauley-Stein. They drafted in the top 10. That's trash. They had Ben McLemore. He was a top 5 pick, was he not? That was trash. I mean, they've missed on a lot of players, but again,
Thomas Robinson being one of the bigger ones.
That's another one.
DeMarcus Cousins will have to be the last one then.
That would be the last one, and he was a top 5 pick.
It will have to be DeMarcus Cousins.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. But again, Marvin's potential is so high.
And the only way for me it doesn't fall to Marvin for the simple fact that Trae will undoubtedly see more of the ball with him being a one at that level. You know what I'm saying? And that's really exactly that's really the
this could be a double guy this year.
I see.
He's gonna be a double.
From with the new head coach,
it ain't gonna be hard for him to do 10 and 10.
With the new head coach that they have, who's black by the way, I have to add that because I'm happy about that. It's not a lot of
black coaches. For sure.
No, it's not. It's not even just black, just not white. It's not a lot of them in the league, and the ball movement that I see from Atlanta is kind of back to what it was when they were going to the Eastern Conference Finals and number 1 in the East and things like that. That's what I see out of them. Like these young boys are willing to share this ball, and that's what I feel like.
There's no egos there.
Exactly. I feel like that's what's gonna take them a long way, and that's why I feel it's gonna help Trae, and Trae's gonna get open. Blah blah blah. Stats go up and he gets that Rookie of the Year.